Chapter 3.
And when Jesus had passed over again by ship unto the other side, many people gathered unto him. And he was near unto the sea. And behold, there comes one of the rulers of the synagogue, Jairus by name. And when he saw him, he fell at his feet and implored him greatly, saying, My little daughter lies at the point of death. Come and lay your hands on her that she may be healed, and she shall live. And he went with him. And many people followed him and crowded him. And a certain woman who had a discharge of blood 12 years, and had suffered many things of many physicians, and had spent all that she had, and was nothing better, but rather grew worse, when she had heard of Jesus, she came in the crowd behind and touched his garment, for she said, If I may touch but his clothes, I shall be whole. And immediately the fountain of her blood was dried up, and she felt in body that she was healed of that plague. And Jesus, immediately knowing in himself that virtue had gone out of him, turned him about in the crowd and said, Who touched my clothes? And his disciples said unto him, You see the multitude crowding you, and say you, Who touched me? And he looked round about to see her that had done this thing. But the woman, fearing and trembling, knowing what was done in her, came and fell down before him and told him all the truth. And he said unto her, Daughter, your faith has made you whole. Go in peace and be whole of your plague. While he yet spoke, there came from the ruler of the synagogue's house a man, who said, Your daughter is dead. Why do you trouble the master any further? As soon as he spoke, Jesus heard the word that was spoken. He said unto the ruler of the synagogue, Be not afraid, only believe. And he suffered no man to follow him, save Peter, and Jacob, and John the brother of Jacob. And he comes to the house of the ruler of the synagogue, and sees the tumult and them that wept and wailed greatly. And when he had come in, he said unto them, Why do you make this ado and weep? The damsel is not dead, but sleeps. And they laughed him to scorn. But when he had put them all out, he takes the father and the mother of the damsel, and them that were with him, and enters in where the damsel was lying. And he took the damsel by the hand and said unto her, Talitha cumi, which is, being interpreted, Damsel, I say unto you, arise. And immediately the damsel arose and walked, for she was 12 years old. And they were astonished with a great astonishment. And he charged them earnestly that no man should know it, and commanded that something should be given her to eat. And he went out from there and came into his own country, and his disciples followed him. And when the Sabbath day came, he began to teach in the synagogue. And many hearing were astonished at his words, saying, From where does this man have these things? And what wisdom is this that is given unto him, that even such mighty works are wrought by his hands? Is not this the carpenter, the son of Mary, the brother of Jacob and Joseph, and of Judas and Simon? And are not his sisters here with us? And they were offended at him. But Jesus said unto them, A prophet is not without honor, save in his own country, and among his own kin, and in his own house. And he could do no mighty works there, save that he laid his hands upon a few sick folks and they were healed. And he marveled because of their unbelief. And he went round about the villages teaching. And he called the 12 and began to send them forth by 2 and 2, and gave them power over unclean spirits, and commanded them that they should take nothing for their journey save a staff only, no scrip, nor bread, nor money in their purse, but should be shod with sandals and not take 2 coats. And he said unto them, In whatever place you enter into a house, there abide until you depart from that place. And whoever shall not receive you nor hear you, when you depart from there, shake off the dust of your feet for a testimony against them. Truly I say unto you, it shall be more tolerable for Sodom and Gomorrah in the day of judgment than for that city. And they went out and preached that men should repent, and they cast out many devils, and anointed with oil many that were sick, and they were healed. And King Herod heard of Jesus, for his name was spread abroad, and he said that John the Baptist was risen from the dead, and therefore mighty works do show forth themselves in him. Others said that it is Elijah. And others said that it is a prophet, or is one of the prophets. But when Herod heard of him, he said, It is John whom I beheaded, he is risen from the dead. For Herod himself had sent forth and laid hold upon John and bound him in prison for Herodias' sake, his brother Philip's wife, for he had married her, for John had said unto Herod, It is not lawful for you to have your brother's wife. Therefore, Herodias had a quarrel against him and would have killed him, but she could not, for Herod feared John, knowing that he was a just man and a holy man, and one who feared God and observed to worship him, and when he heard him, he did many things for him and heard him gladly. But when Herod's birthday had come, he made a supper for his lords, high captains, and the chief priests of Galilee. And when the daughter of Herodias came in and danced, and pleased Herod and them that sat with him, the king said unto the damsel, Ask of me whatever you desire, and I will give you. And he swore unto her, Whatever you shall ask of me, I will give you, unto the half of my kingdom. And she went forth and said unto her mother, What shall I ask? And she said, The head of John the Baptist. And she came in directly with haste unto the king and asked, saying, I desire that you give me, immediately, in a dish, the head of John the Baptist. And the king was exceedingly sorry. But for his oath's sake, and for their sakes who sat with him, he would not reject her. And immediately the king sent an executioner and commanded his head to be brought. And he went and beheaded him in the prison, and brought his head in a dish and gave it to the damsel, and the damsel gave it to her mother. And when John's disciples heard of it, they came and took up his corpse and laid it in a tomb.